Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. In today's video, I want to talk about powerlifting and bodybuilding and how bodybuilding style training can really help your powerlifting goals. Now for this, when I say bodybuilding, what I'm talking about, of course, is hypertrophy style training or higher reps with lower intensity with the goal of adding size versus powerlifting or strength training where the goal here is lower reps, higher intensity with the main goal of building overall strength. Hence the name, and hence the duh, no shit. Now for this, I think it's very important to say as a society that traditionally we look at things in a very black and white manner, whether it be the current events going on the news, whether it be with dieting, if it fits your macros versus eating clean, versus anything else you want to say with training protocols, or even my man Michael Jackson. Black, white, I don't really know. And that's a good transition because what we want to talk about today really is that gray area in between, how bodybuilding style training can really help your powerlifting goals. Now again, it's easy to judge things very simply on a black or white level. So we could take a look at somebody's physique or the way that they train, or maybe some of their philosophies and say that person's a powerlifter, or that person over there, that's a bodybuilder, or that person right there, that's a CrossFitter, man. So for this, again, taking a look at that gray area means taking a look at some of the other training philosophies and adding that into our own routine in order to help our main goal, even though on the surface it might not necessarily look like it would be beneficial. Now, before you go ahead and add kipping pull-ups into your routine, I do want to restate here that the focus is on bodybuilding style training as it relates to powerlifting. So that being said, let's go on and get right into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is rep work as it relates to building better motor patterns. So obviously in strength training, we're dealing with low reps at higher intensity levels, meaning that we're using higher percentages of our 1 rep max or just heavier weight overall. While this is key for building strength, one of the problems that can happen, however, with it is that we're going to have some form breakdown, some technique issues, and we're probably going to be grinding some reps and in some cases even failing attempts, but hopefully not too many because that can fuck you up too. So what's a good way to counterbalance this? Well, rep work. So with bodybuilding style training, again, you're traditionally working in higher rep ranges, in most cases 8 to 12 at lower intensity levels. That way you can get more reps in. Because the intensity level is lower, you can then get better technique and better form. So one of the big issues that people run into with strength training is the fact that they're constantly trying to test their strength instead of build it. So adding in some rep work into your routine can definitely be beneficial. This could be in the form of after having your strength movement, have an accessory movement that goes lighter for more reps, or even having your own rep day built into your program, like I currently do with the Campbell PRS system. And one of the reasons I have this is it really gives your body a break or a rest from all that heavy, strenuous training. And that actually leads us right into our next point, and that is how bodybuilding style training can help relieve some of the stress that traditional strength training can put on our bodies. So over time, you've probably noticed from strength routines that things start to hurt. I'm talking your ankles, your elbows, your wrists, all sorts of things, your knees. Snap, crackle, pop is more than just a cereal, my friends. And over time, it can really take a toll on our bodies. That's why good strength training programs not only have deloads built into them, but again, also this bodybuilding or rep work, because it gives your body a rest and a chance to recover, yet still lets you prolong on some of these training routines. So again, as we all know, getting results takes place in the long run. But what good is the long run is if your training program breaks you down after a couple of weeks and you're too hurt to go on or even potentially injured. So again, adding in these bodybuilding style days, this rep work can really help prolong not only the training programs you're on, but your gains in the long run as well. Now let's parlay what we've already talked about into a quick discussion around volume or work capacity. Now, one of the things you probably noticed when you first started going to the gym was that it took very little actual work in order to see significant results. Unfortunately, for most of us, those days of newbie gains are gone and over with.
Oh, newbie gains, it just ain't the same. I miss you, newbie gains. Please come back again.
There's no amount of autotune that could help you here. But with that, one of the things you probably noticed, the only real way to continue to see results in the gym was to add more and more volume into your routine as you became more and more trained. The issue though, relating back to strength training, is the fact that we're dealing again, lower reps, higher intensity and percentage of our 1 rep max, meaning that we can only train for so long until we start seeing those bad motor patterns start to develop and again put us at risk for injury. So the best way to supplement our strength training routine again would be to add in bodybuilding style training, which is going to give us that volume that we need to get more work in overall. So now that we understand the importance of volume or overall work capacity, it's also important to understand some of the other benefits that come with that, namely getting bigger muscles. So obviously with bodybuilding style training, the goal is to get bigger muscles overall. And in most cases, you will find that a bigger muscle is a stronger muscle, meaning that if you see a jacked guy or a jacked girl who used to be a jacked guy, you can probably safely assume that they're a little bit stronger of an individual. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to the rules, but with that, with strength training, having bigger muscles that are stronger is obviously going to translate very well into what we're trying to do. But another key overlooked fact of having bigger or stronger muscles is the fact that they're traditionally better at handling work capacity. So we just got done talking about the benefits of that. So there's a very good translation between bigger muscles being stronger and also being able to handle more overall volume, which in turn will help us with our progression of strength. So the last point I want to make isn't actually that much of a functional one. However, it might be the most important to some people out there. And that is the fact that through this bodybuilding style training, you will actually look like you finally lift. Although I'm still trying to figure that aspect out. Traditionally speaking, I think many people used to think of powerlifters as big fat guys in singlets with big guts. We're using a lot of equipment, a lot of gear, and really just trying to lift as much as possible. However, these days, there's a lot of powerlifters out there that rival some bodybuilding physiques, and you'll actually find people that do crossovers with the both. So you have powerlifters who do bodybuilding competitions and bodybuilders who do powerlifting competitions. So I really think it's in your best interest to kind of take into consideration some of these other training philosophies if you're really interested in progressing as far as you can go. Now, of course, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think about the subject. As always, you guys can let me know in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more of it, I'd really appreciate if you smash that like and thumbs up button, because that would give you some workout. You need that hypertrophy based in your fingers too, for other things off the grid. And finally, before we end this video, I do want to mention the fact that I am partnered with NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, who's offering a 2-week free trial on their website of their online services. So if you're interested in becoming an online personal trainer or a personal trainer in a gym, it's a great way to go about it. Check it out. Link will be in the description below. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.